Good afternoon, respected adjudicator and debaters. Today, I, the first speaker of proposition, stand strongly with the notion that being indecisive is being better than being overly convinced about them. I believe that without explaining the motion, we cannot begin with the argument. So here is the explanation. Firstly, what is indecisive? Indecisive means not providing a clear and definite result, or in clear words, not making decisions about someone quickly. Now, what are the benefits of being indecisive? One of the most advantages of being indecisive is sympathy. Sympathy is having a feeling of sorry for someone. Sympathy refers to the ability to take part in someone else's feeling. Second is curiosity. You are curious to know about others. The other team may oppose this, but for this man, it's better to know someone than to just make a fixed image about him her. Also, being indecisive means being happy, not judging someone without any reasons. Example, a person is walking near you, but you think that she is a thief and just feel uncomfortable around. We need to stop making decisions on how people look. The world needs to change, and so do you. That the other team may think that being indecisive will struggle making decisions. With this, for this, ma'am, I'd like to ask you, ma'am, you would have listened the phrase, "You should never judge a book by its cover." The cover might be torn, but not the idea. With this, I would like to end my speech by quoting, be like a pineapple, stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. Thank you.
First speaker, opposition has a minute. First speaker, opposition, you may start.
Good morning, learned member of the jury, my worthy opponents and dear teammates. The topic for today's debate is that being indecisive and open to others' opinions is better than being overly convinced about them. And my teammates and I stand strongly against this motion. First off, I'd like to start with some rebuttals. Do you think people will want you to feel sorry for them? Sorry that they have gone through something? Well, people just want to be normal. Not everyone will judge people by how they look. We are not as judgmental as we were before. Now I'd like to start with some of my own points. We have to be confident in today's world. We can't always be doormats and let others speak while we have our own opinion to express. It's good to be listened, but better to stay. Because when we develop, we speak, it brings a completely new perspective to the table. It helps others see the world from our point of view. The most effective way to communication is through speech. If we give that up, then we have pretty much given up. Speaking makes you confident, giving us the opportunity to know that we too are respected and valued. To be decisive will help us all become leaders. We can make decisions on order of what's right, and we don't always need someone else who has to speak when we have a voice and we can make a mark. So let's not adapt to the situation of us being silent. Let us overcome to be the leaders and citizens we were meant to be of this great nation. At some time in life, we will have to make a choice. And we can't let someone else make it because that responsibility lies solely with us. Communication is an essential part of our lives. And standing up for what's right, what's wrong, makes us feel elated because we know that we have made the right choice for ourselves, for what we think is right. To make our own opinions and to believe in them brings us to fight for every moment, to grasp it and not take it for granted, as we have learned from the virus, to not waste a moment on what has to be done. When we are indecisive, we can keep pushing things back until it's too late. Being decisive helps us to grasp every moment, not creating a second to waste, and adding our perspective to the debate. I know that in life, we lose friends, we may fail exams, and there are times when we feel like we just can't decide what to do. But instead of dwelling in it and not being able to decide. If we decide and move on, it will help us all become better people. So today, I say I am not going to adapt to being a nomad. I say that I will make a change by stepping forward and letting my opinion being heard so that the world can become a better place. Thank you.
Second speaker of the proposition, you have a minute. Second speaker proposition, you can start.
Good afternoon, respected adjudicator and one and all present here. Today, the motion before us is that being indecisive and open to others' opinion is better than being overly convinced about them. And I truly propose the motion as being indecisive is, I believe, a good decision as we all have the full rights to speak about what we feel. It exposes us to being more open to what others have in mind. Even though you have an unclear thought of what you want to convey, I believe that contributing to it is better. It might not be that a surety to you about what you said, but if it gives other a new perspective or even a change in their opinion is a good thing. I don't support being overly convinced about them because we should keep it real, because you giving false hopes of being overly convinced is just not the right way to go, emotionally or physically. You have the right to speak whatever it is, whether it's clear or not. And as I say, even the glass is not transparent as its finest, and you still have the audacity to oppose this motion. Well, that clearly proves that you are spreading this negative message to people to just shut their mouth and say yes. No, I don't get your nonsense statements. I can call you out by stating my opinion and tell you to be overly convinced with my opinion. But I cannot, because in this world we have a thing called the Constitution, which you should stating your useless facts. You opposing this motion is just leaving no room for positivity because you don't know what you're trying to prove. You are trying to prove that we should just say yes the whole time. Do you know how many voices is this going to affect? It doesn't matter if the opinion is defined or undefined. Its opinion, it's a stand, and you still have no audacity to say that to being open is not good. As an independent woman, I take my stand as I am taking a stand for others. Because of mentality like you, we have discrimination. You are just making your own stand weak by proving this motion. Just agree with the motion, already be overly convinced. Dude, you're not even talking about the motion. You are supposed to oppose the motion, not propose the motion. The motion is, let me make it clear to you, the motion is being indecisive and open to others' opinion is better than being overly convinced about them. You're supposed to prove me that being indecisive and open to others is not good in your opinion and being overly convinced is better. But what did you spoke? You told me that you proved a lot of our points by saying that it is better to share your opinion, speakers, and you telling us to be indecisive is just you proving our own point. Please understand the motion before arguing with us over here. You surely need to get some better facts, and I hope your other teammates do better. Please understand the motion next time well. And here I would like to conclude my speech by saying each voice matters. Thank you.
Second speaker opposition, you have a minute.
Excuse me, adjudicator. The opposition team is using.
Second speaker opposition, start.
Yes, ma'am, just a second. Greetings to the House at large. And today, the House thinks that being indecisive and open to others is better than being overly convinced about it. For some rebuttals. Speaker 1, you said that about being convinced that we should not be convinced by any person. If we aren't convinced by any person, but there should be a person we are convinced, someone we trust, like our parents or friends. If we don't trust, if we're not convinced by any person, then we're alone, we're depressed. Second speaker, you said we are trying to say that we should say yes to everything. No, we're trying to say we should say yes to what we believe, what our opinion is, what our perspective. We should say no to what we do not believe in. And ma'am, can you stop accusing my my teammate by saying that they did not read the motion? That I'm sorry, but you did not read the motion. You're just proving that each voice matters, and that's what we are trying to say, that each voice matters. And you said it is better to share our opinion. That's our point too. It is better to share your opinions than just be indecisive. Now my points. Who should decide your opinion? You or the other person? We should make and be confident about our own decision and stop looking for other people's opinion on everything. It is your call, your decision, your opinion. Sometimes a society is not very open-minded about certain issues like racism or sexism. And if you are open to society and accepting the racism or sexist society by compromising your own decision, then you are compromising your own morality, ma'am. Being indecisive is actually chaotic. Time does not wait, ma'am. Indecision will only let opportunities slip by. Indecisive is the enemy of progress. Pick a path and be convinced and walk confidently with your heart behind it. Behind being indecisive and waiting for society to make decisions for you is only limiting your true capabilities. Any decision is better than no decision. Life is a series of calculated risks, and we cannot predict what is going to happen. And sometimes you need to dive in and make decisions. According to a study by Dr. Margaret D. Ford, she said that the key to self-importance is a deep desire to learn from bad choices. Often our greatest lessons are learned from bad choices. Being indecisive stops you from taking action. You end up doing nothing, just listening to the chatters of a society, but strongly believing in something helps you to develop, helps you to set a goal. I'd like to end with a quote. It is the moments of strong decision that your destiny is shaped. Thank you.
Third speaker proposition, you have a minute. You can start now.
Yes. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Today, I, the third speaker from the proposition team, firmly stands with the motion that being indecisive and open about others' opinion is better than being overly convinced about them. People change, and it's always good and beneficial to listen to others and broaden one's own perspective. Being open to others' opinions and collaborating to take out new possibilities and solutions is how humans grow. If everyone has their own opinions and are not ready to listen to others, then a decision can never be made, a problem can never be solved. For better understanding, let's take an example of Behes. If the adjudicators are already convinced about one side of the argument, then we may not have been debating here today. It is sometimes okay to accept that your opinion may be inferior to others or may be less beneficial for the society than others' opinions. Don't get us wrong. We are not trying to say that we should be open to others' opinions and part with our own. Neither is the motion. We can never be right and right every time, and we have to accept. Collaborating with others who may have different but better opinions is never wrong or incorrect. Even in debating, I like to believe that listening is equally important as speaking. When we debate and discuss and listen to others, that's how we form our own opinion and perspective eventually. Shutting out other thoughts and perspectives leads to problems like racism and homophobia. An old person who is homophobic and racist, who thinks that whites are superior. If many people like this remain firm to their own opinions and ideas, our society will never be able to grow. And this all goes down debate where we're talking about women empowerment. We could have never done this. Is this the kind of society you wish to live in, where people shut out other opinions and are homophobic, racist, they're prejudiced, they stereotype? No, I know that I certainly do not want to. We should collaborate rather than being stuck to our own orthodox opinions. To conclude, this motion is very true and relevant and must pass. Coming to my rebuttals, speaker one. Sometimes people do need a hand on their shoulder and they do want sympathy sometimes. Ma'am, you took our whole argument wrong, as I already stated, that we should not part with our own opinions and stand by our own ideas. But if a person who is sensible knows when the other's idea is more relevant than their own, the goal is to bring change, no matter who brings it. If no one is stepping up, you may. But if someone else has better ideas, then fighting to become the one in charge is stupid. Collaborate, not fight. Speaker two. You misunderstood our first speaker. She clearly stated that we should listen to others, not shut others' opinions. You are just twisting our words. Stop. We surely do make decisions for ourselves, but making a decision for the society, we need to listen to others. We need to listen to opinions of the society, not be stuck to our own opinions about how the society should function. Every voice matters, as you said, yours and mine. Every voice matters and everybody should be heard, which means that you should be open to my opinions and I already am open to yours. Speaker 3, you have not spoken yet, but I hope you will be able to do better than your teammates. Proud to propose. Thank you.
The last speaker, you have a minute. You may start now.
Who's the third speaker?
Tara.
Ma'am, can I just,
Yeah, please start.
ma'am, can I get just a second?
Yeah. Please start now. Please start.
Okay. Good afternoon, respected members of the jury, my worthy opponents, and dear teams. Today's topic is resolve that being indecisive and open to others' opinion is better than being overly convinced about them. And me and my teammates are strongly against this motion. I would like to start with some rebuttals. Speaker one, you talked about sympathy, curiosity, etc. All these things are for others. The problem is, ma'am, that this world is such that you have to do things for yourself too. Speaker two, the problem is that if you keep changing, you won't want to know, you don't know where to shine. You won't shine anywhere. You won't succeed anywhere if you keep going from one place to the other, changing every minute of your life. If you keep taking a stand for others, when will you take a stand for yourself? And please don't be so aggressive, speaker two. We understood the motion, and maybe your perspective is a little different from us. Speaker three, it's the fighters who stand for their opinion and bring a change to the world. You talked so much about how you have to accept other people's opinions. But take the example of Barack Obama or Rosa Parks. Nobody supported them, but they made people change their attitude. We are choosing the opinions that we want to listen to. You said that you are open to our points, but you aren't seeming to even listen to us before making a decision. Do you know why? because you are looking for your own advantage and you want to win. You are a perfect example of our point. People want to see their own advantage.